Hello and welcome. This is your 9 p.m. daily quiz. I hope all of you are doing good, and I welcome you all to this session where we discuss the important news stories of the day taken from the Hindu newspaper, the Indian Express, downwards, etc., and converting them into prelims relevant questions. If you're new here, if you have still not hit the subscribe button, please do hit the subscribe button. It will really be appreciated. Also, do hit the like button as well. Apart from this, there are many other courses that I'm running on my app. There are PSIR optional classes that I'm running right now. There are also individual personal guidance programs that we have for prelims and for the mains answer writing. So please make sure that if you want to check those out, do download my app. The link to download the app is in the description of the video. Let's begin with the first question then. The PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act, provides for a bail exception to which of the following if directed by the special court? Person who is under the age of 18 years, a woman, anyone who is sick or infirm. Now, this question is being asked because PMLA as such is a law that is a lot in the news. With respect to that, this particular information is relevant. The PMLA law does provide for some exception to grant bail. Is it for people under 18? No, it is for people under 16 years of age. For women, yes. For those who are sick and infirm, yes. So the answer thus here is B. Two of these are correct. The first statement is wrong. It would be below 16 and not below 18. There's an article about how from the Bharatiya Rashtra Samiti, the politician, their MLC K. Kavita has come out. Again, she was in the jail in her connection to the Delhi excise policy case. Next is the second question. Consider the following statements with regards to IMD. First, the IMD, that is the Indian Meteorological Department, currently has the ability to forecast weather events over a 12 kilometer into 12 kilometer area. Second, the IMD has been trying out experimental forecast for 3 into 3 kilometer grids, but the eventual objective is to get hyper local forecast for 1 kilometer into 1 kilometer areas. Third, the IMD has a higher probability of predicting a heavy rainfall event than detecting a heat wave. How many of these are correct? Now, you would have seen many times if the weather forecast, for example, is about rain in your city, even then you might not see rain, but there may be rain in some other part of the city. Because the forecast that the IMD does are not specific to your area where you are living. The IMD forecast right now are for an area that is 12 kilometer into 12 kilometer. A lot of Indian cities and towns are smaller than this. So the accuracy of the forecast is dependent on how small an area can you actually predict the forecast for. That is why the objective of the IMD is to reduce the area in which they can make forecast, that is, make it hyper local forecast. First statement is true. The current parameter under which they make forecast, the current grid is 12 kilometers into 12 kilometers. Second is also true. The eventual goal of the IMD is to reach a level where they can predict 1 kilometer into 1 kilometer forecast as well. Third is actually wrong. IMD right now can predict a heat wave up to a probability of 97%. So it will be 97% correct. But when it comes to heavy rainfall, the predictability is close to 80% right now. So it is much more accurate, or it is much easier for the IMD to predict a heat wave right now. The answer thus is B. Two of these are correct. The third statement here is wrong. There's an article about this particular piece of information in the Indian Express newspaper about how we need to upgrade our weather forecasting system and we need to make it hyper local. Next, question number 3. Consider the following statements with regards to FDC, that is fixed dose combination. So these are medicines that are given to you. First, FDCs are medicines that have more than one active ingredient, chemical compounds in medicines that have an effect on the body in a single pill, capsule, or shot. Second, they reduce the number of pills the patients need to take each day and help improve the adherence to the treatment. Third, fixed dose combinations are to be considered as new drugs and as such have to be approved by the central drug regulator. How many of these are correct? Now, When you have a medicine, there can be a medicine which only has one ingredient, like let's say you have paracetamol or Dolo. It only has paracetamol. Then there are medicines that would have a bit of paracetamol, a bit of cetirizine, a bit of other salts as well, so that you can just have one tablet or one capsule and it will have multiple ingredients. Those are called FDCs. So that you don't have to have multiple medicines, and if there are issues in your body, it can all be taken care of with one pill. That is called FDCs. The problem with the FDCs is a lot of times you are forced to intake those medicines which your body does not even require. So you might only require paracetamol, but the doctor, in order to just be sure, will give you this medicine which has other ingredients as well apart from paracetamol. That becomes a problem. Secondly, when the government, let's say, fixes price, the government says paracetamol can only be sold at, let's say, rupees 10 per tablet and not more than that. The companies then, in order to find a way around that pricing regulation, add some other medicines to that to make it a fixed dose combination. Because of this, the government has recently banned a lot of these fixed dose combinations, and that is what is in the news. With respect to that, all these three are absolutely correct. The FDCs, if you make a new drug, is considered a new tablet, new medicine altogether. It again requires permission from the drug regulator. All these three are correct. The answer here is C. As I said, the government has recently banned 156 of them, saying that they have a negative impact on the health. People are forced to consume medicine that they do not require. That is leading to problems such as antimicrobial resistance, and thus a lot of these fixed dose medicines have been banned by the government. Next is question number 4. Which of the following nations have jointly developed SVOM, Space Variable Objects Monitor, recently seen in the news? France and US, India and Russia, China and Russia, or China and France? Which of these combination of countries recently collaborated to develop SVOM? It was in the news a few weeks back. The answer in this case is actually D. The combination that you might not usually expect. You don't expect Western countries such as France to collaborate with China, but this has happened in this case. France and China have collaborated to come up with SVOM. This is a Sino-French satellite which will detect the most powerful explosions in the universe. The objective is to look for gamma ray bursts across the entire universe. It's an important collaboration between these two powerhouses. Next is question number 5. The Anubhav Awards are conferred upon which of the following? First, the best principals of the year in Indian schools. Second, retiring or retired government of employees who showcase significant achievements made during their service period. Third, best parliamentarians among the outgoing Lok Sabha MPs, or none of the above. The Anubhav Award. We have taken this from the PIB. The government has recently announced the Anubhav Awards. These are given to whom? The answer is B. They are given to retired or retiring government employees because of the achievement that they made during their service period. Anubhav is a Hindi word and it translates to experience in English. So it is given to those employees that are retiring. There is a detailed news on the PIB, that is Anubhav Awards 2024 will be conferred by the Union Minister at Vigyan Bhavan in Delhi. Again, these are given to those government officials that have either retired or are retiring because of their contribution to the government service. To end the session today, again, I have an important infographic. This infographic is based on the completion of 10 years of one of the most significant schemes of this government, that is the PM Jan Dhan Yojana. The PM Jan Dhan Yojana that has led to opening up of crores of more accounts, that has led to financial inclusion of crores of people in the country. This scheme now completes 10 years, so there are important pieces of information that you should know. For example, the number of accounts opened under this scheme, August 2024 till that time, over 53 crore accounts have been opened under this particular scheme. Also, there are a lot of advantages to the account that are opened under this scheme. There is zero balance account. All the account holders get a free RuPay debit card. They get an accidental insurance and overdraft facility as well, of up to rupees 10,000. These are the other benefits that can be unlocked if you actually have the scheme. These are the 6 pillars of the PM Jan Dhan Yojana. Since it has completed 10 years, it is extremely relevant for the examination. This brings us to the end of today's session. Once again, reminding you, if you're new here, do make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Do check out my app as well. If you want PDF of these lectures, I do share them on a weekly basis on my Telegram channel. Do join that as well. The link again is in the description of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day ahead. Bye bye. Jai Hind.